My swing trade, my GPU JP225 swing trade idea is working out so beautifully that I'm thinking about potentially adding a second position to the play. This I've been looking at this one for a few weeks now, so I've been waiting for something to happen, and something did happen last week Friday. So I kind of walk you through what I've seen on why I've taken the trade and potentially what my plan to add to the to add to the position and as it's working out. The only slight issue I have, I won't say it's not much of an issue. Like when this runs, it just runs. Most times it just never pulls back, and I need that little pullback to just give me some kind of a better, excuse me, better risk to reward. So let me just walk you through what we're looking at now. What we're looking at here is the daily time frame. GP 225 uses the Japanese index, and yeah, simple. My system is a simple trend following system, so that's why I have the moving averages. I have the 200, 50, 20, and 10 moving average on this, and my A plus setup, whatever that is, my A plus setup is a solid pullback weekly projection from the 200 moving average or the 200 moving average on the daily or the weekly time frame. Now that is something I will play all the time. The reality is that it never happens. It rarely happens. If I take you back, the purple line, the pink line, 600 moving average, look at how many times price has come back to the 200 moving average. This was in 2025. Don't even bother. This was in uh, March of 26, and we've come around here again in July of 26. So this is like three times it's come. So it never really, this setup doesn't really play out. So this is like a premium setup if it plays out on the weekly, on the daily. So that one is one. The second one is again trend following. If you're doing a trend following, most of the time you will always use some kind of Fibonacci tool. So I use the Fibonacci tool as a retracement down to the 618. The 50% to a 618 area. So this is the zone I want to be a buyer from. Understand that this is also the daily time frame. I tried to buy in one of these regions here and got stopped out. I'm not sure where, but I got stopped out and I just knew it wasn't ready yet. So if you go into the 4 hour time frame, you get a clearer picture. This is how I want to add to the position. This is where I'm looking to potentially take in a second play. But like I said, this one when it runs, it just runs. So I'm hoping that it comes back here or it goes ahead and just gives me more confirmation, break structures on more and give me intentions for me to continue. Either way, I'm not going to chase it. I did impulse into the move earlier on, but then I closed it out for a small loss just because it wasn't the rule. Just because I just didn't want to say, oh, I made an impulse decision and then I turned around and bit me in the ass. So that anyway, that is that about that. So again, key thing to take into account, we are at this is a pullback, and then potentially we're going to continue. That is my TP is at the top. That's where I intend to pick my final profits. So that might not be this week, might be who knows next week, upper week. I'm just sitting down and waiting. So when price comes down into this area, we go into the H4 time frame again. I also need chart patterns and candlestick confirmations for me to be able to take into this take um for me to take this place. So what am I looking at? I'm looking at a potential break of structure. So consider where is your structure. You got structure right there, and you got structure right there. You also got structure that way as well. All the swing points. So I need a price to break this and break that break structure, regardless of what it is for me to consider entering the place. So between Thursday and Friday, all of this leg happened. Let me get you between Thursday and Friday, all of this leg happened. This was my clear breakout. So I was waiting for that simple pullback. But I was just a bit skeptical. I had this zone mark as my entry, but then I decided to enter off of this I decided to enter off of this fail zone just in case price doesn't come back to my original zone. So I chose to enter in here, but then decided to decided to cover the lows. That's about it. That's where, yeah, decided to cover it down there. That's what I covered. Cover the lows to protect myself just in case price decided to kind of dance around there. So that is how I was able to get into this trade. Prices right pull back at this leg, tag me in, and then we've continued the second, the potential impulse, more like the trend journey has started. So that is how I got into this trade. And we can see again, like I said, the moving averages are very key to me. You can see the first things to consider. I'll just move this up for a bit. A few things to consider and take this box out for a bit. Also take this one out for a bit. None of that. So the few things to consider is that the 50, 20, 10 moving averages. The green is a 50 moving average. I'll pull it closer. It's trading under the 20 and 10. So this is like a good signal that the bulls are fully in control, and this is like something that will potentially play out. Who knows what's happening in the moment? Now it looks like something will play out. Tomorrow something might happen and just turns around and just dumps on me. But other than that, so far it looks good. Price is trading far away from my 10 and 20 moving average, strong bullish intention, which is what I like on the H4 time frame. So I need the same thing to almost happen I need the same thing to happen on the daily time frame. Um, the 200 moving average price has just reclaimed the 200 moving average on the H4 time frame, which is also a good bullish sign. So I would like maybe who knows a bounce off of this 200 moving average to give me an intention. If we go to the H1 time frame. The H1 time frame 200 moving average is sitting. This is kind of how you look at how this yellow moving average is my 10 moving average. I want to see price do this on daily time frame on the H4 time frame. It just gives me a bit more confidence. We're not breaking below the 10 moving average. This is a strong bullish market. If this is happening in the daily time frame, but obviously it's going to take a bit time for this to happen. So I'm not looking to take profit on this trade until after, who knows, end of next week, see what happens. But for now, this trade, I'm looking to add to this trade instead of exits out of this trade. So that is where we are. So I'm optimistic that price can potentially come back into this to a simple break and retest of this. This is a daily zone, daily resistance, potentially to become support. So I'm looking that price can potentially come back in here, give me some kind of intention to buy, and then I can engage this market. But for now, I will I'll post more videos and just give an update on how this plays out. If I go all the way or if it just turns around and crumbles on me. Other than that, for now, I'm just looking to add a second position into this play. So if it works out for me, good and fine. If not, I will still post updates here. I'll try and put up a screenshot of the MT5 trade running. I've taken this on a funded account, not on my live account. I've taken this on a funded account. So yeah, hopefully that this just goes all the way and just I'm able to come a bit come a bit closer to break even on my account, which is in 2 weeks ago was in heavy drawdown, but between last week and this week, some recovery has been made, so which is positive. So we'll see how that goes. All right, that's it for me for now. If you watch this far, I try to keep this video under 10 minutes, and I think I've done a good job doing that. So please subscribe. Peace.